Independent MP for Great Yarmouth and the leader of Restore Britain, a movement, not a party, Rupert Lowe. Rupert, flags are all the rage at the moment. Everybody's talking about them, and I need to get your views on Gary Neville in just a little while. But you yourself have put your hand in your own pocket, and you bought 500 quid's worth of 164 St George Cross flags, and you helped hang them all across your constituency of Great Yarmouth, and you were pictured hanging one out of your constituency office. Well, first of all, you know, good for you. I'm glad you did that. I think more people should do that and get behind the Raising the Colours campaign and stop demonising.
Well, we had a lot of fun doing that on Monday, Kevin. I was sort of up a very long ladder, putting a few flags on the lamppost. We had to go up higher because we think it was Labour. There was a Labour councillor there who got rather upset. We think it was them. We put a whole lot of St George's flags up along Galston Beach. Yeah. The next thing is they were all taken down. So we went back.
Really? I didn't realise that. They took them down.
And yesterday I was up a ladder at the age of 60, nearly 68. I'm 68 at the end of the month. And I mean, I can tell you, it was quite rickety up there, but it was damn good fun. And people were stopping, they were applauding, they were loving every minute of it. And I'm absolutely delighted that my constituency is leading the way. And we are covered in both the Union flag and you know the St George's Cross, which is absolutely fantastic.
I didn't realise that somebody had ripped them down. That's typical of what we keep experiencing now. People who seem to hate our flag. I don't understand it at all.
Well, I don't understand it. The chap who did it, Kevin, was wearing a Palestinian badge.
I'll bet he was. I'll bet he was.
I thought to take down the St George's crosses with your Palestinian badge on sort of says it all, really, doesn't it?
Now, what did you think when this happened? We're going to put a picture up now, and this is you actually hanging a big St George's flag out of your constituency office, and next to it, photoshopped or AI'd or whatever it was, East Surrey Reform Party did this. There's the real picture on the left of you, and they did that and turned it into a Palestinian flag. What did you think when they did that?
Well, we're not sure whether it was East Surrey Reform, but that's the suspicion. Somebody was posting it in their name, so we're not sure whether it's a bona fide account. But if it is a bona fide account, I think it's pretty pathetic, Kevin.
Yeah.
And it's we called it out, and they actually then took it down.
Okay.
A few hours later, but. I mean, if they don't respect our national flags, then they're not going to do themselves any favours with the voters. Certainly not in Great Yarmouth.
Yeah, indeed. So let me get now, and by the way, I'm right behind what you did, and to hell with the person who took down these flags. Why do people do that?
We had a great guy called Chris putting them up. He's been an absolute stalwart, going around there everywhere. So it's great.
Not forgetting your own personal contribution to the flag flying effort.
No, I paid for the flags.
I know you did. 500 quid's worth. I know.
Yeah.
Good for you. Now I need to get your views on Mr. Gary Neville, the soccer relic, who seemed to be incredibly dismayed when he drove home last week. It was last Thursday night. And he said 60 or 70 Union Jacks and St George's Crosses flags, which he found to be extremely distressing. And when he subsequently found out that on one of his development sites, he's having an office developed in Manchester, the construction workers had put up a Union Jack, and he demanded that they took it down. Apparently, it was flying next to a Moldovan flag and another unspecified flag. Gary apparently had no objection, the construction workers said, to the Moldovan and unspecified flag, but he demanded that the Union Jack came down. This is a guy who played for England like 84 times or something. Now, at Wembley Stadium or wherever, you get a lot of Union Jacks being flown by the flags. I don't remember him climbing into the stands to rip them out of the hands of the fans. What is it that he now finds so offensive about our national flag, the Union Jack, and indeed the English flag, the St George's Cross? What does he find so offensive?
He's a good football pundit, Kevin, but maybe he spent too long in the studio with Gary Lineker and a bit of Gary Lineker's rubbed off on him. But I mean, it's quite an extraordinary comment from for an England footballer to take exception to any form of English flag, English or British flag. I mean, having played for his country, you'd think the first thing he would do is support that flag. I mean, you know, that flag is part of our culture and part of our history. And I absolutely see no shame in flying it everywhere. I've got them all over my farm. But at the end of the day, Gary is a bit woke, I think, as I say.
Labour supporter, Rupert, Labour supporter.
I know. You get these Labour supporters, and it's quite extraordinary.
He's rich enough, he's wealthy enough to be a socialist. Good for him, eh?
He's made a lot of money, and you know, like a lot of Labour voters, he's marginally unsound. I think that's all we can say. Maybe as I say, too much exposure to Gary Lineker.
Yeah, indeed. What is it about these soccer relics called Gary? When can we be rid of them? Rupert, it's been fantastic to talk to you as always. It's always a pleasure to have you on this show. Thank you so much for your time. That's Rupert Lowe, Independent MP for Great Yarmouth, Restore Britain, leader of that movement as well. He always stresses Restore Britain is not a party, it's a movement. And as he alluded to, Restore Britain is independently funding an inquiry into the rape gang scandal on account of, although our government said they finally U-turned and said, all right, we'll have a public inquiry. Don't see, heard anything about it lately? Do you think they're trying to sweep it under the carpet? When is this inquiry? Who's going to chair it? Where's it going to be? When's it going to happen? Who's on it? What's the funding? They haven't said a damn thing. They just said, oh yeah, we'll have one. All right, yeah, all right. Because if you remember, they cancelled any idea of it. Said, oh, we don't really need one, you know, the worst sexual scandal in the history of this country. 250,000 vulnerable young white girl victims preyed upon by Muslim men, gang rapes, rape gangs, Muslim men of Pakistani origin. They plied them with drugs, groomed them. Many of them 14, 13 years old. Don't need an inquiry into that. Well, everybody rose up in horror. And then there was the report that made Keir Starmer say, all right, I'm going to have one now. So he said, I've changed my mind. Due to this report, I am going to commission a full public inquiry. That was about, what, 3 months ago? Maybe more. Any sign of it? Who's chairing it? Where's it going to be? Are they just trying to, you know, hope that we all forget, sweep this under the carpet? Because they don't want us to have a rape gang inquiry, a public inquiry, because most of the local authorities where coppers, social workers, teachers and local politicians turned a blind eye because they didn't want to be called racist if they reported these Muslim men of Pakistani origin.